Welcome to the Stoic Tide. We live in a world obsessed with appearances. Faces are measured by discomfort, smiles weighed against each other like coins in a shallow exchange. Yet there is a magnetism far beyond flesh, far deeper than the fleeting charm of beauty, a force that pulls not from what the eye can see, but from where the soul radiates. That force is discipline. That force is mastery over ourselves. That force is we are drawn not to perfection, but to those who stand unshaken when the world trembles. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who bore the weight of an empire on his shoulders, reminds us that you have power over your mind, not outside. Realize this and you will find strength. It is this inner strength that feel before we see it. This gravitas that makes men and women turn unconsciously toward those who haven't mastered themselves. Consider the man who does not flinch at insult, who does not rise or fall with praise. He is unbreakable. His composure is a statement far louder than any physique. Seneca observed, "Itis, not the man who has too little but man who craves more that is poor." In his restraint, in his refusal to bend over the whims of desire or fear, he becomes something rarer than beauty. He becomes desirable because he is whole. We have all known the intoxication of destructive emotions, anger surging like wildfire, envy whispering poison in our ear, fear tightening its grip around our throat. Most surrender. Most allow these ideals to define them. But we seekers of discipline, we choose differently. We train ourselves to see the world with unclouded eyes. We respond rather than react. We hold the storm inside us until the storm has no choice but to dissipate. And in this mastery we discover a quiet magnetism. Why is this attractive? Because a discipline speaks of autonomy. Autonomy speaks of power. And power, true silent self-contained power, is irresistible. It whispers of confidence forged in theftiness of self-control. Epictetus teaches us, no man is free who is not master of himself. In mastering your impulses, in restraining our appetites, in tempering our emotions, we do not just become disciplined, we become embodied. People feel it. They sense a man who does not need them, yet could give himself generously if heckases. That is a lure beyond the skin. We are drawn to this like moths to flame, not because it is flashy or loud, but because it is real. The disciplined cell radiates a calm intensity. It is in the way we speak without agitation. In the way we hold ourselves without pretense. In the way we act without desperation. The body may fade, the hair may gray, but this, the disciplined spirit, only grows sharper, darker, more compelling with time. Look to history, to theories, the philosophers. The emperors who carried themselves as though the world were a mere stage beneath their beauty was not in it was in the quiet fire of their character. People saw it, felt it, and were drawn to it. The seducer of flesh cannot compare to the seducer of mind. So we train. We resist the tug of trivial desires. We endure discomfort with complaint. We temper our emotions until anger, fear, and envy have no dominion over us. Every act of restraint is a step toward becoming the person who is magnetic, not because of appearance, but because of the presence of unwavering strength. This is the essence of the Stoic, unyielding, calm and profoundly attractive. Ask yourself do we chase fleeting beauty or do cultivate the beauty that never the beauty of discipline, of courage, of mastery over self. We can reject the shallow allure of appearances and step into the deeper power of controlled, disciplined and refined character. And in this choice, we discover the truth. The body will fade, the face will age, but the man or woman who masters themselves, who walks through life untouchable by chaos, remains magnetic, irresistible, eternal in the eyes of those who recognize real. We are not made attractive by fortune or chance. We are made attractive by discipline, by our refusal to be ruled by fleeting passions, by our courage to face the darkness within and emerge unbroken. Let us become that force. Let us make ourselves irresistible, not to the shallow eye, but to the soul. How purposeful action and self-control forge true magnetism. We live in a world where attention is sold and bought, where people chase validation and admiration as though it were air. Faces are photographed, body sculpted, voices curated. But none of this creates the kind of presence that lingers in the mind long after we leave the room. True magnetism is not painted on. It is forged in silence, in discipline, in deliberate mastery of the self. The Stoics taught us that the most attractive people are not those who command attention by chance, but those who command themselves with intention. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man's hold be. B1. We see people are drawn not to the man who looks powerful, but to the man who acts powerfully, calmly, deliberately, and without distraction. This is the allure of discipline. This is the kind of presence that does not require beauty because it radiates." We have all observed those who are carried by their impulses. They speak without thinking. They chase pleasure without pause. They are the slaves of the immediate, and yet, somehow, one who masters themselves. The one who restrains indulgence. The one who chooses action with deliberate thought becomes magnetic. Seneca reminds us, "He who is brave is free." Freedom here is not freedom from rules, it is freedom from the tyranny of desire, fear, and indecision. When we act freely in this sense, pio planatus, they feel it. They do not need to understand it. They are drawn to it like moths to a flame they cannot name. Self-control is the soil in which this magnetism grows. Every time we resist an urge that serves only the moment, every time we act in accordance with reason rather than impulse, we strengthen our and character, as the Stoics instinct is more compelling than flesh. Epictetus tells us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." We are free in ways that others envy, though they cannot articulate why. They sense that we operate on a different plane. Calm, focused, purposeful. This is irresistible. But there is more. Discipline shapes not only the individual, but the perception of that individual. When we do not react to provocation, when we do not chase praise, when we do not bend to whim or we project a quiet authority. People are attracted to authority not because it demands, but because it embodies certainty. Aurelius himself, an Amor, would sit in the halls of power, listening, observing, yet never betrayed by the chaos around him. That calm mastery of purpose is. We cannot ignore the role of deliberate action in attraction. It is not enough to suppress impulses. We must also channel energy towards something meaningful. The Stoics urge us to live with intention. Every act, every word, every decision becomes a reflection of our inner discipline. When we pursue goals with unwavering focus, we develop a presence that commands respect. People are drawn not to the man who flits from desire to desire, but to the man whose every step carries weight, direction, and inevitability. They are drawn to the woman whose actions mirror her convictions, whose composure implies that she isn't touchable by chaos, yet alive with. This magnetism is subtle, almost imperceptible at first. It is in the way we listen, rather than interrupt. It is in the way we respond, rather than react. It is in the way we move through the world with clarity, avoiding distraction, refusing to be swayed by vanity or fear. And yet, those who encounter it cannot help but be drawn in. The effect is deeper than it is a pull on the psyche, an unconscious recognition of mastery. Think of the great figures in history whose presence outshone beauty. Generals, philosophers, emperors, and it was not their faces that drew followers or admirers. It was their discipline, their ability to control their emotions, to act decisively, to embody the principles they spoke of. Marcus Aurelius's gravitas, Seneca's reasoned, calm, Epictetus, Seneca. All of this created an auriful power, far more compelling than mirror. We are capable of cultivating the same aura. Every time we resist the lure of idle chatter, every time we choose patience over impulsiveness, every time we align our actions with purpose rather than vanity, we fortify a presence that others cannot ignore. This is the hidden currency. It is invisible, but its influence is profound. People are drawn to those who have mastered themselves base. Such mastery signals strength, stability, and the capacity to thrive under any circumstance. How composure and presence make a discipline irresistibly attractive. We're drawn often unconsciously to those who remain calm when everything around them is chaos. The world rewards the loud, the flashy, the reactive. But true magnetism lies elsewhere. It lies in composure, in the unshakable presence of Samaean, who has mastered themselves. There is a power in this quiet strength that no beauty can rival. A pull that draws eyes, attention, and respect without a word. Consider the moments we'll have witnessed. Arguments that erupt, emotions that surge, panic that spreads like wildfire. Most people are swept along, consumed by the turbulence. And then, there is the one who does not. Their calm is a statement. Their stillness is a signal. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who carried an empire on his back, reminds us, you have power over your mind. Not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength is visible. It radiates. It is magnetic. We who seek discipline understand that composure is not innate. It is forged through. Every time we resist the urge to lash out in anger, every time we silence the voice of envy, every time we temper fear with reason, we are building presence. Seneca tells us, no man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity with courage. And the corollary is equally true. No man is more attractive than he who faces adversity with composure. Calmness under pressure speaks of inner, and fortitude is timeless. It is not just restraint that draws others. It is the confidence beneath it. The composed individual does not need validation. They do not seek approval. Their value is self-contained. Epictetus wrote, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that people sense this autonomy, this internal sovereignty, and are drawn to it. It is not something to be taught, it is something to be lived. The way we carry ourselves in moments of tension tells more about who we are than any appearance ever could. We have all known the intoxication of presence. The feeling that someone occupies a space net merely with a body but with a commanding force. It is invisible yet undeniable. This is the product of discipline-Attractor control. When others around us react impulsively, we are steady. When chaos erupts, we are unmoved. This magnetism is primal. It is rooted in the subconscious recognition of strength. Human beings throughout history have been drawn to the unshakable for its signals, protection, reliability, qualities far more compelling than fleeting beauty. The beauty of this kind of attraction is that it grows with, while physical allure fades, composure only deepens. Age, scars, setbacks, they do not diminish it. On the contrary, they refine it. The persona has faced difficulty with discipline and emerged unbroken, exudes a presence is impossible to ignore. They do not dominate with noise. They captivate with stillness. Their silence commands their measured response intrigue and draw others near. We must recognize that this presence is cultivated intentionally. It is not aim. It is an extension of the self-polished through consistent practice. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to strengthen our presence. Every insult we do not answer. Every slight we do not internalize. Every fur, confront and endure. It all builds the aura of someone who is magnetic. Not because of looks, but because of mastery over self. Composure also allows us to influence without imposing. People are redrawn to leaders, lovers, and companions who remain balanced when the world is. They sense competence. They sense reliability. They sense depth. This is why Stoic discipline makes it cultivates present status impossible to fabricate, impossible to mimic, impossible to overlook. It is not a superficial charm, but an invisible force, palpably giuntoshavely, commanding attention without demand. In the end, we are reminded that beauty fades, attractiveness wanes, and appearance, but the presence forged by discipline, composure, and mastery over inner self endures. It draws not the shallow, but the perceptive, not the fleeting, but the devoted. It is a dark, quiet power that whispers of resilience, strength, and an unshakable center. To embody this is to become irresistible, not because the world has judged you, but because your character, your calm, and your presence demand recognition. How inner calm and resilience make a discipline, irresistible. There is acquiescent power in those who do not tremble bear life storms. In a world obsessed with appearances, we often forget that true allure is invisible. Itis, not in the curve of a smile or the symmetry of a face. It is in the way a person stands when chaos surrounds them, in the unshakable calm that radiates from a mind mastered. This is the secret hot, Stoic discipline reveals. Attractiveness is born in resilience. We'll witness it daily. Tempers flare, words wound, fear spreads like wildfire, and yet some remain untouched. They are not cold. They are not indifferent. They have cultivated the ability to observe, to weigh, to act with purpose, rather than impulse. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That strength is, it draws people in, not because it shouts for attention, but because it radiates certainty, safety, and control. Emotional resilience is. There is a profound recognition in human nature. Those who can endure suffering, who can face adversity without crumbling, are rare. Seneca reminds us, difficultiest, trunk the mind, as labor does thebody. Every setback we overcome. Every disappointment we face without succumbing to despair adds layers to our presence. People feel this power instinctively. They do not need to see our achievements, only the calm that flows from them. That calm is magnetic. We are drawn to those who can listen without interrupting, who can speak without agitation, who can act decisively without panic. Epictetus teaches, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Mastery over our reactions is mastery over perception. When we control our world, we project a strength that others sense immediately. It is silent but undeniable, subtle yet commanding. This form of attractiveness is rare because it cannot be faked. The world is filled with those who try to project confidence. Those who mimic charm, who chase validation. But only those who have cultivated discipline, who have faced their shadows and possess the aura that draws people in without effort. True magnetism does not demand attention. It earns through presence, consistency, and inner. Consider the human mind as a stormy sea. Most are tossed about by waves of anger, envy, and fear. The discipline Stoic is the lighthouse standing firm on the shore, unshaken, unmoved, illuminating with quiet. That presence is captivating. It communicates without speaking, commands respect without demanding it, and attracts naturally because people sense the reliability and strength beneath the surface. Resilience also creates freedom. The freedom to act without being tethered, tough approval, or judgment of others. This independence is attractive because it implies control, power, and self-sufficiency. The person who does not bend to every insult, every manipulation, every fleeting whim becomes someone others instinctively list and desire to be near. Finally, this form of attraction is timeless. Beauty fades, looks decay, trends change, but resilience.com and the mastery of one's inner world grow sharper with time. Every challenge we face, every trial we endure, every destructive emotion we overcome only strengthens this invisible allure. It is kind of attractiveness that touches men's hearts and souls, leaving a mark long after appearances have vanished. We are not made magnetic by chance or we are made magnetic by discipline, by the courage to endure, the clarity to act with purpose, and the serenity to remain unshaken. When we cultivate inner calm and we discover a power far deeper than beauty, a power that draws, captivates, and endures. In this, the Stoic truth is revealed. It is mastery of self, not the curve of a cheek or the shape of a body, that makes a persona irresistibly attractive. How the aura of self-mastery makes discipline irresistible. We live in a world obsessed with people judge by what they can see, yet the most compelling presence is. It is not in a perfect smile, a sculpted body. It is in the aura of someone who has mastered themselves, who carries the weight of life without collapsing, who moves through chaos without fear, whose calm confidence commands attention without demand. This is the silent magnetism of we all sense it when we encounter it. The person who does not flinch at insult, who does not tremble in fear, who does not seek validation from others, has an energy that draws people in. Marcus Aurelius observed, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." presence, purpose, and composure are far more captivating than beauty because they signal strength, stability. People are instinctively drawn to what they cannot easily possess. Self-mastery is forgotten struggle. Every time we resist the temptation to react with anger, every time we temper desire with reason, every time we face adversity and remain unbroken, we shape an invisible force around us. Seneca reminds us, it is not man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. The man or woman who has conquered their cravings, impulses, and destructive emotions radiates a power that others feel before they understand it. That power is magnetic. The attractiveness of self-mastery lies in its subtlety. It does not shout for recognition. It does not seek to dominate. It manifests in the way we hold ourselves, the steadiness in our voice, the clarity in your actions. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom from inner chaos allows us to move through life with authority and grace. This authority is irresistible base. It conveys safety, competence and inner strength. Those who have a cultivated self-disciplined errand, they do not bend under peer pressure, social expectation or fleeting. Their magnetism is natural, uncontrived, and undeniable. People sense it intuitively, recognizing in them the rare combination of restraint, clarity, and confidence. It is the presence of someone who can endure life's storms without losing themselves. And it is more attractive than any surface-level charm. Ultimately, beautified is, looks decay, fame and fortune are fleeting. But self-mastery endures. The disciplined individual becomes increasingly compelling over time. There are a deepening with each challenge faced, each destructive emotion, each moment of inner contrast. In this, the Stoic truth is the most magnetic people are not the ones with the best faces. They are the ones who have conquered them. We are drawn to self-mastery because it represents what we admire and secretly desire. Freedom, strength, and presence. Discipline is attractive.